Ladies and gentlemen, today, I want you to imagine a woman who did not choose a fight, yet destiny pushed her into the center of a battlefield. This is not just a story of courage. It is a reminder that sometimes the strongest warriors are the ones who rise when the world expects them to surrender. So let me take you into the journey of a woman who fought a corrupt system to clear her father's name. When the world turned against her father, she watched the man who raised her with honesty and integrity be crushed under the weight of lies. Most people would have accepted defeat, but she was not most people. She was a daughter whose loyalty was stronger than fear. And whenever she felt like giving up, she would whisper to herself a simple question: if I don't fight for him, who will? That question became her anchor, her fire, her reason to rise every single day. She walked into courtrooms where no one respected her, sat across from officials who hid the truth behind their polished desks, and faced voices that tried to silence her. But she had something the system wasn't prepared for: persistence. She collected documents, uncovered secrets, connected evidence that others ignored. Every file she opened led her to another hidden truth. Every lie she exposed shook the very ground that corruption stood on. And every time someone told her, "You can't win," she smiled and said, "Watch me." There were nights she cried, days she broke down, moments she doubted her own strength. But then she remembered her father's trembling hands, his tired eyes, the shame he never deserved. And in those moments, her pain transformed into power. She turned her fear into fuel. She turned her heartbreak into a mission. And slowly, brick by brick, she pushed back against an entire system built to defeat her. People started noticing her courage. Journalists began asking questions. Authorities who once ignored her were forced to revisit the case. And the truth, silent for so long, finally found its voice. The day the judge declared her father innocent, she didn't celebrate with loud cheers. She simply held her father's hands and cried. Not because she won, but because she refused to lose. That is what real courage looks like. Not perfection, not fearlessness, but the decision to stand tall even when your legs are shaking. Her fight became a lesson for the world. One woman with truth and determination can challenge an entire system and win. She discovered her true strength the moment the world tried to silence her, and that realization became the turning point in her life. When the accusations against her father surfaced, she stood frozen, unable to understand how a man known for honesty could suddenly be painted as a criminal. But as she watched people turn their backs on him without hesitation, something powerful awakened inside her, a voice that whispered, "If you don't fight for him, no one will." That whisper didn't fade. It grew louder every single day. And that is how her quiet heart turned into a battlefield of determination. Instead of collapsing under pressure, she decided to rise, even when standing felt impossible. Every moment the system tried to silence her, she became more aware of the courage she never knew she had. She began her fight in places where no one believed she belonged. Offices filled with arrogance, courtrooms where her words were brushed aside, and hallways where people looked at her as if she was wasting her time. But what they didn't know is that she had already made a promise, to herself and to her father, that she would not stop until the truth was seen. And every time someone dismissed her, she felt another spark of strength ignite within her. She learned that true power doesn't come from having resources, connections, or influence. It comes from the unshakable belief that justice matters, that truth deserves a voice, and that silence is not an option when someone you love is suffering. With every file she studied, every piece of evidence she uncovered, and every lie she challenged, she felt herself changing. She wasn't just defending her father, she was discovering herself. She began to understand that courage does not always roar. Sometimes it speaks in the quiet refusal to give up. Sometimes it is found in the simple act of taking one more step when your legs are tired. People around her started noticing her resilience. Some mocked her, others doubted her, but a few began to admire the fire in her eyes. She kept going because she knew one powerful truth: when a woman fights for justice, she becomes unstoppable. Her strength grew with every obstacle, not because the journey became easier, but because she became harder to defeat. Every setback taught her something new. Every rejection sharpened her resolve. Every attempt to silence her reminded her exactly why she started. She became the woman corruption feared, the woman who does not back down, who cannot be intimidated, who knows her worth and her mission. And in discovering her strength, she proved that sometimes the world's attempt to silence you becomes the very reason you learn to speak louder than ever before. Her courage became unstoppable the moment she realized she wasn't just fighting a legal battle, she was fighting to protect the dignity of the man who had protected her all her life. That understanding changed everything. She no longer walked into offices as a frightened daughter. She walked in as a warrior fueled by love, truth, and the unbreakable bond between a father and his child. People underestimated her because they thought she was just an emotional woman trying to challenge a system built on power and influence. But they didn't know that love can become a force stronger than any intimidation, and they certainly didn't know that a determined woman can shake the very foundation of corruption with nothing but persistence. Every time she gathered a new piece of evidence, exposed a hidden inconsistency, or questioned someone who thought she would stay quiet, she was tearing down the lies that had crushed her father's reputation. She faced people who had spent years mastering the art of manipulation, men who believed their titles made them untouchable and their lies untraceable. But she walked in with something they could never match: the truth. And while they tried to confuse her, delay her, or frighten her, she answered them with a calm confidence that surprised even her. She learned to look them in the eye and say, "I'm not here to fear you. I'm here to expose you." That sentence alone made several powerful people realize they underestimated her far too early. She didn't need to fight with loud words or dramatic gestures. Her persistence did the talking. Her presence became a reminder that no system is too strong to question and no lie is too big to confront. Every document she uncovered led her closer to revealing the network of corruption that had framed her father. And with each step, she felt an energy building inside her, a strength she never thought she would possess. She realized that fighting for truth transforms you from the inside out. It sharpens your mind, strengthens your spirit, and gives you a clarity that fear can never touch. People who once doubted her began to watch her journey with awe. Some even began to support her, inspired by her refusal to give up even when the odds were stacked impossibly high. She understood then that courage is not about being fearless. It is about moving forward even when fear walks beside you. Her mission was no longer just about clearing her father's name. It was about proving that no system, no matter how corrupt, can overpower a woman who rises for someone she loves. And by standing firm, by refusing to be intimidated, she taught the world a powerful lesson. When a woman fights with purpose, even the strongest walls of injustice begin to crumble. So today, remember this: corruption may be powerful, but it is not unstoppable. Lies may be loud, but they cannot silence a determined heart. And whenever life places you in a battle you never asked for, think of this brave woman who proved that justice belongs to those who refuse to give up. Thank you.